Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Comic Beyond Dark Tales. So, we're going to be covering Hellboy, the Fortune Teller. So, I'm a fan of the Hellboy character, coming off of the movies, stuff like that. And here recently, I've been doing a deep dive into the comics. And so, this is a comic book that came out on Free Comic Book Day, but I really enjoyed the story because it's almost like a short story, pretty much. And if you've listened to some of the videos on the channel, you've probably heard me talk about how I'm a fan of short stories. Like, it's probably my favorite kind of media, even in movies and books. Like, I love the idea of just telling a short, confined story. And so, our story starts off. Hellboy's at a fortune teller establishment, and he's looking into the murder of a 22-year-old girl, and he's telling the guy that he needs to see this fortune teller, and that this 22-year-old girl was found, murdered or killed down the street from where they're at. And he has information leading him back to the fortune teller that this was the last place she was seen going, or told she was going. And he's telling the guy this he's showing her a picture, and then he shows him another picture of her looking like she's aged up, like hundreds of years old, like her essence had been taken from her. And so finally the fortune teller comes out from behind the curtain, and she's talking to Hellboy, and he's like, have you seen, your sign says you see everything, well, have you seen this girl? And she's like, yeah, she's been here before, and I don't usually charge money, I just, I take a little off the top as far as their life force goes. And he's like, well, how do you do that? And she says it's her crystal ball. She's had it for like hundreds of years, even back. She even states that she had it back before the Battle of Troy happened. And so she tries to get him to touch the ball, and because she's been feeding off of humans for many years, and finally Hellboy comes in, and so she tries to get him to touch the crystal ball, and she forces it on him pretty much. Well, she sees everything. She sees his backstory. She sees every, like, the different adventures he's been on, the creatures and evil he's fought, and this and that, to the point where it like backfires on her, and then it's too much for her, and it overwhelms her, and she turns to ash. And so he's like, but basically Hellboy's like, well, that's that. And the guy that he was talking to before, he's like, "Well, what did you see?" And he's like, "I didn't see anything, but it hurt like hell." And so he's like, "Well, what are you gonna do now?" And the guy tells Hellboy, he's like, "I don't know. Me and her have been together for so long. I don't have nowhere else to go. I don't know what to do without her." And so as he's saying this, the guy's slowly starting to age and get old, and then finally he turns to dust. And so Hellboy, he lights a cigarette, and he's like, well, that's that. And the book ends, or at least that story ends in the book. And so I really liked the story. It was just really short, simple, to the point. It does have like the Hellboy humor. Since I have been going back and reading the comics, I picked up that Hellboy himself has a sense of humor that's written into the character. And so I like that part of the story. And one of the things I did find interesting about the story is, and even in the other Hellboy comics, nobody's really put off by Hellboy. Like, he can walk in and question you, and nobody really is put off by his appearance. So I find that interesting that he just, he does his job. He strolls into a place, and nobody really bats an eye. They just go along with it. So I find that interesting because that's like a departure from the movies. In the movies, they were always trying to keep him hidden and a secret and stuff like that. So that's the story. And if you did pick it up from your free comic book day and you haven't checked it out yet, that's what to expect. The reason why I haven't had a video out in at least probably almost a week is we just had our hurricane here in Florida, and so we lost power for a while, but everything's back to normal now. I'm going to be posting my videos again, and I'll be working on some custom videos, And so all that should go back to normal and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to get this video out because it's been a while. And if you have any Hellboy fans out there, I hope you tune in, check this out. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.